Alright, Shalom. It's Brother Bashab. I'm back at you another lesson. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Chak Wadash, divines to the apostles, and the others a great millstone, who taught me it's true to rule well, and peace, blessings, and salutations be to those who elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel and may even endure to the end, willing, right? And I just want to get into a quick another M.O.T.B episode today. Basically going into emotional surveillance, all right? And you know, like I've been going into with these past lessons, bringing out different information, right? Different key points and ways how they're going to code this M.O.T.B system, right? Now, if you don't know what the M.O.T.B is, we're speaking of the RFID microchip, all right, which they will be making mandatory, all right, in the times in the near future, all right, which is a little grain of rice. You know, you can basically go and look it up what an RFID chip is, you know, when they're going to institute it either in your heads, all right, your foreheads, or in the hand, all right, in the right hand, man, left hand, you know, whatever. But this is something that they're going to push. All right. Now, if I have here an article from End Time headline that reads, "Emotional surveillance is the next level of Orwellian technology." All right. It says, according to a report from Biometric Update, the next evolution of digital identity and security systems is moving beyond traditional biometrics and behavioral data to analyze humans' emotions themselves, right? Now, I want to get this word, what it means, Orwellian technology, all right, just to show you where this comes from, right? It says Orwellian technology refers to systems predicted in George Orwell's novel 1984 that enable mass surveillance, data exploitation, and psychological manipulation. While Orwell imagined a totalitarian state, today's modern versions are often driven by corporate algorithms and social media platforms. The line between dystopian fiction and present-day reality has blurred, with several technologies currently in widespread use, which it lists a few: continuous surveillance, telescreens, all right, facial recognition and behavioral analytics, algorithmic news feeds and deep fakes, newspeak and language engineering, big data analytics, implantable memories and personal histories. All right. So, you know, all of these things are basically what it's saying, that all of these different factors are in current effects. All right. These things are happening before our eyes now. All right. These are the technologies, as it said, that are currently in widespread use, man. You know, showing you that these things are not afar off, right? And as, you know, these different articles with the information as they come out, you know, showing you that it's getting closer and closer, you know. But now it says San Francisco-based Valence AI has raised $5 million in seed funding and secured 2 U.S. patents for a technology that detects emotional states in real time from live speech. Right now, when you go into this actual picture, right, in which you know, for brothers that played the game, I believe is Watch Dogs, right? You know, they already have the technology to do these things. You know, why would you put in a game that came out, you know, more than 10 years ago? You know, had the guy with the phone. He was basically hacking phones, and he was looking at his phone, but his phone was reading all the other phones, giving people their name, right, their full name, that basically pulling up their ID. All right. Now, if he can do that with just hacking on the game, what makes you think they can't do it in real life? Right. Now, we know these devils are not that, you know, creative, you know. And they get these ideas from things that they actually do through something that we call, or we know as a revelation of the method. All right. And this is what it's going to look like when these cameras You know, there's different facial recognition technology that they're already using. It starts to analyze your emotional state, right? You can see she got 87% stress, 70% of anxiety, 65% sadness, 12% anger, and 0.08% or 8% happy, man. You know? And, you know, that's how a mass majority of these people are going to be anyway when this thing starts to become instituted. All right. So it says the company's pulse emotion model analyzes vocal cues such as tone, pacing, and other indicators, converting them into structured data for use in voice agents, contact centers, sales, and support operations. This development signals a broader shift where emotional signals are being integrated into the trust and identify stack. It's like an identity stack along with device, reputation, behavior analytics, and transaction history. Voice systems are already central to customer authentication, fraud monitoring, and automated services. Emotional analysis now offers the potential to escalate calls to human agents, trigger additional verification, flag potential fraud, or route interactions based on detected states like confusion, pressure, or frustration. While a person's emotions cannot confirm identity, they are increasingly viewed as contextual indicators that could influence high-stakes decisions in finance, insurance, and customer service. You see? So these things are basically, you know, they can say, oh, you're not in your right state of mind. All right? You can't do this right now. You can't purchase this right now. You see? And all of this, like your boy, video Apostle Kabar always references with Alex Jones and what's his name? Shit. The guy that, you know, basically committed that offed himself, but he didn't off himself. I forget his name. You know, that exposed all of these things that they were gonna do, you know, mainly, you know, referring to the C-Hip, right? I forgot his name. But he was on that Alex Jones show. And you know, he gave out the information, and Alex Jones said, what? Total control. He said, yeah, total control, you know, which ultimately goes into them having this godlike complex, man. All right. This desire to want to be the most high, you know. And as I went into the lesson yesterday on Esau, you know, basically, you know, being finessed twice, they still, you know, trying to obtain and get that birthright back, man. You know, that's the chief thing, you know, through all of these policies, the NW0, you know, and everything else. Their plans to get their birthright back, you know. They want to enslave us forever, all right, rather than the elder serving the younger, all right. Now, let me see if they got a little bit more in here. Critics and researchers. And that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to get anyway. You know, it's all good, but, you know, get a few scriptures. This is Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 2. It says, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus said the Lord Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, and I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. You see? And so that's this, you know, the inward thoughts of this devil, man. All right, is that what? That he is God, all right? He wants to steal the people of the Most High, all right, or still being the people of the Most High, right? He wants to be the Most High. That's what this whole NW0 is all about. Him having total control over your thoughts, your emotions, what you buy, what you sell, all right, what you worship, okay? How many hours you sleep, how many calories you ate, how many calories you burn, how many hairs on your head, you know? This devil wants to be like the Most High, man, all right? But he can't, you see? You read in the NLT, it says, Son of man, give the prince of Tyrus this message from the sovereign Lord. In your great pride you claim, I am a God. I sit in a divine throne in the heart of the Most High. So like in the heart of the sea. But you are only a man and not a God, though you boast that you are a God. You regard yourself as wiser than Daniel and think no secret is hidden from you. You see? And, they are wise, man, right? As it says in Psalm 64, the heart of it, every one of them, and the heart is deep. Their hearts are definitely deep, right? So you ultimately have to understand that this is what this is their mindset, the inner workings of them, right? Even when you go to 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter, it tells you the same thing, right? It says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High, right? And that's what he's done. In the NLT, he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God in every object of worship. He will even sit in a temple of the Most High, claiming that he himself is the Most High. And that's what he's going to do, right, through his NW0, right, through the things that he desires, all right, to do. You see, to achieve, to chip everyone, right? Because that's ultimately what this thing is going to boil down to, which is why you're going to see him come down with that great wrath, right? But that was it. Just wanted to get that point. I'm gonna jump to Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right. Oh shit. I'll get out of here on this. Like I said, just a quick hit, just bringing some info out. All right, on this Orwellian technology, man. All right. Now this I think it's 13. Yep, this Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart," and which you understand when they keep saying "thy heart, thy heart, thy heart," it's talking about your life, man. All right, your mind. You see? So thou hast said in thine mind, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. All right, we understand that those stars are who? The tribes, man. The 12 tribes, all right? The Most High's chosen people. This devil wants to, and that's why I said earlier, his whole MO is to what? Get his birthright back. He wants to be above the Israelites, man. All right? It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right? Telling you that this thing is going to fail miserably. All right? That's why I tell you in Job, the 5th chapter, that he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. All right? You're going to go for it. You're going to try, but you're going to fail miserably, So all of this emotional surveillance, digital surveillance, do it all, man. Go ahead with your move, so you can fail miserably at it and we can get the hell up out of here, So Adawan Ratazada's lesson was edifying. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash, and Shalom, Abarakim, Labakar, Shalom.